Is your child missing certain developmental milestones? Keep watching to learn more.
Welcome to the YouTube channel of Michael J. Swanson. Michael is the author of How David Beats Goliath and is the CEO of Advocate Capital. And now, here's Michael.
Well, your child may be missing certain developmental milestones. If that's the case, you may be seeking answers for that. And so to try to help, I've asked expert plaintiff lawyer Nelson Tyrone to join us today from Atlanta, Georgia. Nelson, thanks for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
I've known you for about 5-6 years. I know you to be an expert in the area of birth injury cases and things like that. Sometimes you were telling me that people don't really put two and two together with developmental milestones being missed and a potential birth injury. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, that's right. I mean, I'd say almost all of the families who come to us, and it's always moms and dads who come to us, they've got a child who's missing developmental milestones. Maybe it was obvious at the time of delivery that their baby was injured. They were in the NICU for days or weeks. Or maybe they've been noticing incrementally that the child's just not keeping up with other children, not crying, not crawling, not picking their head up, not eating. And sometimes they wonder if something that happened during labor and delivery that didn't feel right to them or didn't seem right is connected. And sometimes they have no idea at all. But that's really how almost everybody comes to us, with a lot of questions. And they're just trying to take care of their child. And
so I'm just learning about this phrase milestones. Can you give us examples of the types of milestones people would notice?
For any of us who've had kids, you're expecting children to cry right as soon as they're delivered. Children start to feed themselves with mom's help, right, and nurse.
Okay.
We expect them to start to be able to pick their head up and grasp with their hand, roll over, eventually get up to commando crawls and walks, hold themselves up before they walk. We remember all those moments in our kids' lives. And children who are brain injured because of errors of hospitals and doctors during delivery don't make those milestones, right? They either never make them or they're significantly behind where their peers are. And so sometimes it's parents, again, who come to us, they know that their child's injured and is already followed by a host of doctors. And sometimes it's more subtle, where we got home, we thought everything was fine, but my child is not crawling. They're not walking. They're way behind, not just months behind. And gosh, we've got questions and we want to know, is anybody responsible for this?
When these milestones start being missed, is it always in the first year, or is there sometimes a delay?
No, it'll be, so yes, it can be both, but the milestones of sitting up, grasping, rolling over, being able to get up to knees and crawl, being able to pull yourself up and eventually walk are all things that are going to happen in that first 12 to 18 month period. And so parents start to notice that my child's not doing any of these. The pediatrician will be on board and noticing. Maybe there's a neurologist on board if the child is having seizures. And so, they'll be very apparent.
Well, if someone watching this had questions and wanted to maybe ask you a few questions, how would they reach you?
Well, they can call us at 404-377-0017 or email me. My email is my name. It's nelson@tyronelaw.com.
And do you charge if people call you?
No. Just like any plaintiff's lawyer, we don't get paid. Frankly, the case is successful, and that includes the review and our conclusions about whether we can be successful or not. And so a large percentage of the time, we're simply answering folks' questions, trying to get to the bottom of what happened, whether there's a case or not.
Whether there was a connection between maybe some error during delivery or something.
I mean, sometimes it's not anyone's fault at all. And frankly, families who come to us, although technically that could be bad news that there's not a way to recover for their child's injuries, at least sends them in the right path. And so they can cross that off their list and just focus their attention on caring for their child.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you for the work that you do to help families in this area. And thank you for being the key to the courtroom for your clients and their families.
I'm really happy to do what we do.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Send your questions or comments to Michael at mike@howdavidbeatsgoliath.com.